like Freeze Mage is just what he should be going for here, honestly.
Ooh, and he does pick the freeze mage. Oh,
Yeah,
right. So we're gonna see a mirror, and this is one of the more confusing matchups that we said that it's really hard to play, and players aren't really too familiar with it, right?
Well, I don't really know. I can't speak for the experience of these players in the
Oh,
Freeze
it's
Mage
true. Yeah.
matchup. I just know that in my experience playing it, this is a difficult matchup to navigate
Mhm.
because there are a lot of little things that you have to take into consideration, and when you have that many things going on, it's very easy to misstep.
Right. For example, here is coin valuable enough to coin out the mad scientist right away, put some
Right.
pressure on the board. All right, we do see coined mad scientist here. Gonna be pretty effective in doing 2 damage every turn. And once again, in the freeze matchup, this is actually pretty significant.
Yeah, this is something else that I'm not too familiar with either. Is how exactly do you use Doomsayers in this matchup?
Well, you use it to clear 2/2s because they're super threatening. They're actually
Fair enough.
super threatening.
Now, in Hosty's position here, is he going to value? So he wants his 2/1 to be on the board. I was curious, is there merit to just drawing a card off the Loot Hoarder here?
Well, no, because once again, Loot Hoarders are very big minions, right? They're 2/1s. That is actually insane. You leave that minion alive for 15 turns and you win the game. Like, can't have that happen. All right.
I'll make sure not to leave Loot Hoarders alive for 15 turns anymore.
That would be a bad thing. So both players Arcane Intellect here, and over at Forsen, he's gonna Arcane Intellect as well. Like so. Perfect. And now Hosty has another mad scientist. So once again, the durable minions, right? Oh, Cone of Cold actually.
Oh, he did have Cone of Cold too.
Yeah, there you go.
We talked about how one of Life Coach's plays could have gotten punished by Cone of Cold. We were like, it's kind of rotated out.
Yeah, but apparently not. So now Hosty does think the board pressure is important, so plays 2 creatures. Forsen's feeling super pressured now. So what is he gonna do?
I think I like Ice Barrier here.
Oh, I do like Ice Barrier because one of the hard ways to actually trigger Ice Barrier in this matchup is with minions, right? Freeze mages don't really have a lot of minion combat, especially in the late game. So if you can actually squeeze in some armor here and there and actually make use of the Ice Barrier, I think that's a very good move.
So that being said, do you think there's a lot of value in not attacking with this Mad Scientist?
I mean, if you can't do 6 damage, if you can't do 8 damage with minion combat, then you don't attack, right?
Sure.
So it's like a kind of a foresight kind of thing. Do you think you can deal 8 damage? The moment you don't, you're healing your opponent.
Wow, that's tough. Gosh, what a weird game.
Yeah. So let's see if Hosty does decide to go for it. Nope. He thinks he can't deal 8 million damage. And now Forsen has a couple of shapes. And once again, does not feel threatened anymore because his Ice Barrier just goes, stop. Don't attack me anymore.
Yeah, he actually wants the Ice Barrier to get popped.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, his Forsen's first instinct was to set up the ice block, like so. And now what happens if Forsen actually tries to go for a ping on the Acolyte here? Would that be too cute?
Yeah, I think it's probably not the wisest place right now.
Right.
And your opponent just gets to ping you instead of pinging their own minion. And
Right.
you're like, here, have some cards. Like, no, I don't.
Ooh, the pink does come out, forcing Hosty to do play something. But hey, you do have stuff to play. Look at the ice block. That's a card you can play. The Ice Barrier, of course. The other one, basically. We don't even know what's up, but now we definitely know that both mages have both secrets up. Hosty does have a little bit of board pressure, but you cannot pressure your opponent if they have Ice Barrier, unless you think you can't push it.
Is he actually supposed to Frost Nova here? Just to get cards out of his hand?
Because
if the Acolyte gets pinged here, he's gonna end up burning a card if he doesn't Frost Nova.
So there you go. That was pretty. Frost Nova used some fireworks action. Now does Forsen use Frost Nova, even though the minions are not gonna attack anymore. Anyways, such a weird matchup. Oh, I can guarantee something though. I can guarantee something. This is not gonna be end up a tie, right?
No, it's definitely not gonna. There's definitely not gonna end a tie.
There's no way. There's actually no way that's gonna be a tie.
Yeah. Well, both players could get to 2, and then an abomination could go off.
From another game, probably, yeah.
It just carries over.
Uh-huh.
The abomination just ripples through the board into your game.
Uh-huh.
Like, wait, what? God, this is tough. It's so weird to watch players just have to burn cards.
Right? That does
Just to keep their
even
hand
do
size under
anything.
control.
Yeah, exactly. So does it also mean that wait, would it mean that fatigue would be a thing?
I think it definitely can, but I think that just given the nature of the matchup, where both players are just going to have a lot of like, they're just both going to have a lot of stuff when it comes to the end game. Like someone's going to get Alex Strazed. At some point, Archmage is going to get played, and at some point, someone's going to have 1 billion damage in their hand.
Oh, whoa. Do you really want to play the Acolyte of Pain here?
No, I don't think so.
This is getting kind of scary, especially next turn. Forsen could just ping the sheep.
Okay, so
draw.
freezing the mad scientist here, I think, is the tiebreaker for whether or not you should play the acolyte.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Using the Kona code.
But he could play 2 sheeps. He could play 2 sheeps and ping one of them.
Yeah, and then
that'll deal. He'll draw 3 cards, and then he can burn 1 card that way. But is that even a good play at this point?
I have no idea. I'm just confused. Well, I mean, Forsen did say in the VIA game House Cup that he's super confident in the Freeze Mage matchup. Like, he knows exactly what to do. So, I mean, if it's VIA game, before the GVG came out, I don't see what the difference is now. Right? You just throw in a couple of sheep and whatnot. It's basically the same deck.
This is tough.
Yeah.
This is so tough.
So you just wanna lose the Frost Nova.
I don't know, maybe he is gonna try to fatigue him out.
Interesting. Uh-oh. Hosty.
What does Forsen know that we don't?
Good question.
It feels like it's a lot right now.
Oh my god. So now, if the sheep is actually killed here, Hosty is forced to draw 2 cards. And that's not good. That's terrible.
No, he doesn't have anything that can actually burn from his hand after that, unless he just wants to throw a frostbolt at his opponent's face.
Now, it's also funny where you can also force your opponent to draw more cards by pinging their mad scientist after triggering something like Ice Barrier, right?
Yeah. That's if they don't have the other Ice Barrier in their hand, though.
That's true. Okay, I'm confused now. We'll see. We'll just see how these players tackle it and kind of try and analyze their point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best way of going around this. Archmage Antonitis. Would that be a fine play?
I have no idea what to do here. This is like one of the weirdest board states.
Oh man, I think playing the
I've
second
ever
acolyte
seen.
was actually the problem here. Like, so many things are sealed right now. Oh no. Oh, that is so disgusting.
You know, he does have Alex Strazed and Archmage in his hand, and a Pyroblast.
Right.
So, I mean, burning a card isn't like the worst thing in the world here.
Okay.
And you are going to pick up 2 extra cards before this. So say like he picks up an Ice Lance here, I think he's going to feel pretty comfortable.
Well, he's not gonna have time to play it, don't you think? Oh, he doesn't do it anyways. Well, Pyroblast drawn for Forsen, so basically they effectively have the same hand. I
The other thing too is you do have a relatively high density of cards that you don't mind burning. Like he doesn't mind burning Ice Barrier, he doesn't mind burning like Frost Nova or Blizzard or something like that.
True.
So yeah, it wasn't the worst situation in the world.
Okay. Harrison gonna come down here. It's actually one of the most threatening creatures on the board aside from the Antonitis and Alexstrasza. Oh, Blizzard's fine, yeah.
Yeah, Blizzard, that's like of no consequence
Interesting.
at this point. Yep, and now Hosty's just going to press the issue, and this is suddenly a lot of pressure on Forsen's side of the board here.
Flames are going to be used to remove the Alexstrasza, and if Hosty actually draws something like what, Ice Lance here, does it do it? Not really, huh?
Well, Ice Lance would be certainly a massive draw at this point.
Ooh, fire!
It's a lot though. Yeah, I think he's just going to play Archmage and just continue to develop.
Well, you can Archmage and actually Frost Nova here, and turn the Frost Nova into something useful.
Does he even need to do that though?
Wait, what else do you do? Just play the Archmage by itself?
He could play his little guys and fireball his opponent, and then his Blood Mage and his Loot Hoarder are going to end up drawing extra cards, so he's going to dig to his Ice Lances.
Oh, I don't think you want to draw any more cards at this stage. I think they'll just come naturally, right? I think turning the Frost Nova into a Fireball is a pretty good play because you can also proc the block next turn.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. So, looks like Forsen's going to have to be forced to kill this Archmage, though.
Forsen is going to be forced to kill an Archmage. Wow. Nice one there.
I mean, I don't see any, I don't see another way to even begin stabilizing this game if you just like, yeah, I'll just let the Archmage live. Mm-hmm. It's not a big deal, bro.
Wow, I guess Hosty is definitely super ahead now. I mean, first few turns are definitely very hard to see who's ahead, but now knowing this outcome, we can actually go back, look at the VOD or whatnot and analyze if the players actually did the moves correctly, right?
Yeah, I think Alex Strauss is really like one of the biggest.
Whoa! What?
I am a little bit confused by that.
What? What?
He could have just popped a block, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What? 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 Okay, wait. I do not understand. No. I mean, there's a reason for keeping your opponent at 1 health, but it's a freeze mage. Like, they have Alex Straza, so like 3 and 1 is the same thing. I don't know.
Forsen's also running a copy of Anti-Keelbot, right?
That's true.
And Hosty knows this.
So why are you putting your opponent at 1?
I think it's just because I think he's just trying to get like maximum value from his cards at this point. So even if his opponent has Anti-Keelbot, he can still just burn him through it without really much of a problem. Like it does kind of force him to have Anti-Keelbot straight away. I think he's just it doesn't really make a ton of sense to me though because he just had so much damage in his hand.
Right.
Like I'm just trying to figure out what he could have been thinking about there because that looks to me like it was just strictly a mistake.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, we'll see what happens. Ice Lance pick up here. So pretty much the Fireball's going to be used to clear the Antonitis. And the Frostbolt's going to use to be clearing the Antonitis. You realistically only need to ping the opponent's face, but I guess the only thing you're worried about is Alex Straza now. So
he can also just Frostbolt Ice Lance the Archmage and ping his face.
Right, but then do you really want to do that, for example? You get what I mean? Like, right now the only thing that can kill you is Alex Straza.
Yeah, I just don't see Hosty really losing this game ever.
Okay.
Like he's the first person to pop an ice block, and he's got enough damage to fight through more ice blocks.
Right.
So since Forsen can't pop the ice block this turn, I think it's a matter of going through the motions at this point.
Okay. That's true. The first person to proc the block is basically the first person who lost a life, and since both players only have 3 lives, and then you can only take 1 per turn, right?
They're not cats. They don't have 9.
Oh, okay. Well, Kazan Mystic would beg to differ.
You just steal all the ice blocks. They just lore Walker Cho and just start throwing ice blocks back and forth.
Oh my god, that's not even. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? I mean, Kazan Mystic is one of those cards where you go like, oh yeah, it's super overpriced, but now the hunters are not really popular. I mean, that's what we predict. Is Kazan Mystic even viable anymore?
It seems like it's still pretty good against Freeze Mage to me.
That's the card you want. That's the flair for all classes.
Yeah, it's a 4/3 body, and you get their secrets.
Right, the body doesn't really matter too much. You're kind of really using it for the effect, but the body's good, right? It's kind of like a extra plus.
It's always good to have an extra body.
Mm-hmm.
Get to work. Throw a cool Taskmaster at him.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Forsen is wondering whether he should Frostbolt here, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's got a Frostbolt just to get mana out of his hand. It's just he's not going to have a ton of time to really utilize it. And he also still has the Archmage out, so just the extra damage is something else he's looking for. But again, it's just Hosty just has too much to have to fight. So
now, even if Forsen draws the Alex Straza, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god, that's exactly.
He does have 4 fireballs in his hand now.
Yeah. Well, Hosty does take this matchup, and like we said, that is pretty sweet winning this match because Forsen is pretty much gonna use the warrior, and Hosty has an option to ban the warrior, and extended value.
He just pings himself.
Oh god.
Yeah, Hosty 1-0 here, and Alex Straza, easily the biggest difference in this game, I would say.
Okay.
It's like Hosty had Alex Straza first, and it's pretty tough to beat a guy who just gets 15 points of damage out of one card.
That's true. And judging by this match, I would say that Alex Straza, whoever Alex Straza first, is in a pretty good spot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is the aggressor, for example.
Yeah, that's the position you really want to be into. So yeah, like you said, now he has the coup available. If Forsen ends up queuing up Warrior here, which I think is pretty likely, it's going to get couped.
But
so,
do you metagame and not queue up Warrior?
That's something to debate. It's how confident does he feel in his matchup with other decks versus it.
Oh, that is so weird. Because like Warrior is supposedly good against Hunter and good against Rogue, right? So do you really want to lose Warrior like this?
I don't know. You might not even be able to prevent Warrior from getting lost that way, though. Warrior just might be the matchup he's afraid of anyway with the rest of his lineup.
Right. Oh man, this is so weird.
Yeah, I think this is like a really precarious situation. I think going Paladin here is good. I really do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Forsen's Paladin, doesn't run any out of the ordinary cards. I mean, I would expect one anti-kill bot, so that's pretty important.
I don't think Paladin's going to be like exceptional versus Rogue, and it's going to be, I think, pretty decent versus Hunter.
Okay.
But like, I think the Warrior deck's going to, I don't know, maybe this Warrior deck actually doesn't do good versus this Hunter, because again, this is like the like back to the old styles where it was like Savannah Highmane just crushed that matchup,
and 100 Rhinos too.
Yeah, and and it's got like Houndmasters, and Houndmasters is another very troublesome card you have to deal with.
Yep, that's true. All right, heading into the game, guys, and Hosty is going to what remain is a freeze mage, and actually the Warrior is going to pick up here, and it's a very obvious coup by Hosty. It was just up to Forsen to whether to actually queue the Warrior against this, and
yeah. So obviously, I mean, no blame there for Hosty. That's the nightmare matchup. Like if there's a matchup in Hearthstone that is like strictly a counter, I think it's Warrior versus Freeze Mage.
Yeah, this is the most one-sided matchup in my opinion. Just gain armor, and if the even with the Shield Maiden, it's even worse, right?
Yeah, it's crazy like how lopsided that matchup. Even like before without Shield Maiden, it was lopsided. Now it's like, how do you even win?
I guess you just have to do some Archmage Antonitis shenanigans with like infinite damage, right?
You have to Archmage, Coin, Frostbolt, Ice Lance.
Right.
With a Blood Mage on the board.
And your opponent has to not Shield Slam it.
And your opponent has to have an earthquake happen in their area and lose connection to the game.
Oh god. Okay, let's not have any earthquakes happening. Okay, those are. All right, so yeah, Forsen is gonna be forced to change another deck. So you think Paladin's the way to go, huh? Now I think
so. I think so. Well, remember his Druid deck didn't look like it had Savage Roar. Oh. Because he's playing like he's playing like strictly the ramp version. It looks like.
Oh well, I think Forsen is in a little bit of a pickle here.
I don't know. I don't think Paladin's that bad. I really don't.
Okay, we'll see. Well, I think one of the main things you can, as a Paladin, to do it with defensive play, as in like if you don't start well at the start to put on the pressure, is to equip a true silver champion, wait for the Alistar to come down and actually hit and heal yourself with 2, plus whatever you're gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if that's why Forsen actually has Harrison in his deck. Is so Paladins can't do that.
Oh, interesting. Maybe. Oh, but he's gonna go with the Druid instead, the Ramp Druid.
Yeah, I can't. But I don't think the Druid's like horrid in this matchup without Savage Roar. But I certainly think Savage Roar is like the difference in it being what I would consider very favorable and being close to like the 50-50 mark.
Right. All right. So off we go. Forsen has a zombie chow to start, but other than that, not really big plays. Hosty on the other hand, not a bad selection of cards here. They're all cantrips, so you might as well just start playing something.
Loot Hoarder does not seem too exciting versus Druid.
Yeah, but at least you have something to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do want to get rid of the armor. This is actually one of the main things you want to take account for against Druids, is that they do stack up some armor over the course of I don't know how many turns.
Yeah, I mean that's another one of the really key ways that you can win is just weaving in as many hero powers as you can, and it's not quite as effective as the Warrior hero power, but it adds up. You get 5 of those in, and that's 33% more damage that the mage has to deal over the course of the game.
Right, that's true. And like even Forsen is going to use the zombie chow to trade instead of using his face to trade. Well, I mean, fine, he used the shade, but still, like, you know, if that was an option, I'm pretty sure he would use the zombie shadow shade anyways.
Yeah. Now here's another big question too: is do you actually kill this Acolyte of Pain with your shade here, or are you just not worried about it? You think like go ahead and let him consume his mana, pinging it, and he can just draw however many cards you feel like.
Huh. That is interesting thing to note, but I'm pretty sure if you're gonna leave the Acolyte alive, then you want to attack with the shade to the face, right? Because like, what reason is there to like keep the shade there? You know, you want.
Yeah, I actually, in this matchup, I like unveiling the shades really early
Mm-hmm.
because if they have to do something like Frostbolt it, it's less Frostbolts they get post Alexstrasza.
That's
So
true.
it just puts a lot of pressure on just the amount of cards that they can have available in their hand when
Yeah.
you get to those later stages of the game.
And they actually can't deal with this at turn 4, right? The earliest they can deal with anything is like a blizzard, and that just happens at turn 6 with the coins turn 5. So like, yeah, it's very important to know your opponent's mana cost.
If you have Forsen Savage War, it makes a lot of sense to save it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have those, and it looks like you're just gonna have to be playing minions through the mid game, definitely unveiling it is stronger.
All right, so here, Drew of the Claw. I believe this might be in charge mode. You could be scared of Flame Strike, perhaps, but I feel like you want to have the early pressure.
I think another big concern for him too is that, again, this isn't to say he doesn't have it, but we didn't see Force Nature Savage War, so he has to think about how much damage he's going to have available to him over the course of this game. So charging it will ensure that it gets in 4 points of damage, and I think that's a bigger story to him.
Yep.
No Frost.
And oh, you know, Forsen's Scenarios is actually a cheap Savage Roar.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've used it for most.
Right.
When do you ever make 2/2s?
Yeah, you're not gonna make 2/2s in this matchup.
Oh, Blizzard's a really nice pickup.
Oh, that is something. I think using the Ice Barrier here is logical too, because if you coin Blizzard, then what are you gonna do next turn, right? You're just the later you play your freezes, the more health you get.
Right.
But Savage Roar kills him right now if he doesn't do it. Oh wait, Ice Barrier. Yeah, that's enough health, right? That has to be.
Yeah, it's enough right now.
12 plus
11
8
plus
is
8.
20, yeah.
Go ahead and ping.
Descension. Interesting choice. Well, of course, set it to Blizzard, but Forsen might be able to, like, you know, piece things out. Black Knight is actually a pretty good draw here, right? Like, why not? Yeti for turn 4. You just miss out on the hero power, which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy slam. You're not going to see any taunts.
Yep.
And if your opponent casts Mirror Image, I don't think that you're too sad to have missed the Black Knight value on that.
No, definitely not. Oh, another Ice Barrier. Unfortunately, the Doomsayer cannot come out of this turn. The Shade is just going to continue growing. So Hosty is really looking for a Flame Strike, for example, you know, or Frost Nova, something like that. But we do
Flame
know
Strike.
Keeper of the Grove is in Forsen's hand.
Yeah, Flame Strike, Frost Nova, and Blizzard are by far his best draws right now. Just because it allows him to extend the game longer than it would be if he doesn't have those cards right now, and that's a major concern to him is how this game gets extended. So having Frost Nova and getting your Doomsayer silenced obviously sucks, but again, he has to find something to continue to stem damage until he can find a way to actually push for the game.
That's right. Belcher is a pretty good play. You can squeeze in the hero power. You kind of want to save the Ancient of Lore for heal, right? It's kind of like the yeah, you know, a good option in case your opponent does, you know, ramp up to Alexstrasza with an ice block.
Something that I used to make the mistake of is when I was playing ramp versions, I would draw with Ancient Allure, and it is when I didn't have Savage Roar. But when you have Savage Roar in your deck, it's just so important to find that card in this matchup that
That's
drawing
true.
is totally fine with it. Because usually your game plan involves just pressing the issue and not allowing them to be able to Alex you with an ice block up.
Right. And hey, this is a Jin card for Hosty. Frost Nova is going to do some work here. However, there is a Keeper of the Grove there. So
He does think it's a Jin card, but he's of course he's worried about Keeper of the Grove. I mean, you just saw your opponent draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Some of their cards have been in their hand for a very long time. Like if he's been keeping track of where this keeper is, it's been in his hand for close to since the beginning of the game.
But I mean, if you don't do that, then what do you do? You Arcane Intellect. Okay. Okay.
Ooh, Flame Strike's a really nice pickup right now.
That's a card. What can I say?
I'm curious now if you even Doomsayer or if you just ping the 5/5.
Interesting. Well, I mean, if you do play the Doomsayer, you do force your opponent to play the Keeper in response, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, you do not want to silence your own Shade to attack the Doomsayer for 7 because that's not going to work. Oh, man.
You could attack it for 2 though.
Oh, like a poke? Flame Chicken to come down here and... Whoa. This is pretty... Oh, wow. Hosty's going to force to use an Ice Lance here. We do know that if he hasn't used the Ice Lance, he could have lived because Scenarios only pushes 4 damage and 4 plus 8 is not 15. So he would have lived.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Ice Block up either, which is like a really big issue at this point.
Very big issue. So all of these creatures cannot be killed. You could Frostbolt the KT to prevent 6 damage on the face, of course. And well, I don't know. Does Hosty even know this is like a more ramp version? I mean, now he should know with KT coming down.
I think he's starting to piece something together. If he pings off this 5/1, Forsen actually doesn't have enough damage to pop an Ice Block through an Ice Barrier.
Wait, why? The 5/1 just comes back alive.
Oh, right, because he's got the KT. Ignore everything I said because I'm stupid.
Right. Man, sometimes we don't notice things. I mean, KT does be transparent sometimes. Oh, is this happening?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh.
I mean, what other options do you have though? Like, you can't just Alex his opponent and hope.
Wait, why didn't he just play Thalnos and oh, he wants to ping another creature. Okay, he just wants to clean the board.
I think he's just trying to extend the game. Again, he's trying to find a position where he can freeze the board and develop his Ice Block and then play Alexstrasza.
Well, how's this for a position? Archmage Antonidas plus an Ice Barrier.
I like it. Just it depends on what your opponent does at this point. I mean, I can't imagine. Oh gosh, I really like playing the Sylvanas here. Like, this is the turn where your opponent's heading into the turns where they're going to play Alexstrasza, where they're going to play Archmage.
That's true. But
I get, there is another problem with that though. Like, if you play Sylvanas and your opponent like plays a Doomsayer and fireballs your Sylvanas or whatever, they can take the Doomsayer that's active and clear your whole board with it.
That's true, but there is an inactive Doomsayer right now, so
yeah, so that's like 50-50.
Whoa! +2/+2 for 2 extra damage to the face.
All right, yeah. So, I'm curious if he's going to be confident enough to sit behind the Ice Barrier here, or if he's going to go ahead and play the Ice Block.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I mean, sitting behind the Ice Barrier is going to. I mean, that's enough. He can sustain through that.
But then,
here's the other thing too: is if you're in Forsen's spot and you see that secret come down, do you think it's Ice Barrier or do you think it's Ice Block? Because now this Archmage, I mean, this is a big problem now too. You have to consider how threatening that is. So if he assumes this is Ice Block, which he probably, that's 15. He's got 15 points of damage this turn. So he actually, I mean, pretty sure that draw was just lethal.
Yeah, that was lethal.
Yeah, he needed Swipe or Druid of the Claw.
That's the draw, but
we've seen people miss lethal before.
No, I mean, right now it's not obvious lethal because there is an Ice Block opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So
in that vein, do you want to use your Scenarius, your Hero Power, or does it go first?
Interesting.
Because as soon as he attacks the face, he figures out what it is, and then that's game.
Right. I mean, he should attack the Hero Power first, right? You kind of just trying to rack up armor. But then how do you kill the Archmage Antonidas if that's the case?
I'll just use the Swipe.
Oh! That is.
Yeah, and that's going to be the news for Forsen now. He's going to tie this series up 1-1.
That's right. Bluff called. I'm going to kill you now. Wait.
Yeah, drop.
Okay. You got it. Okay.
I was like, oh geez. I was like, oh, don't miss this one.
Forsen missing lethal would be pretty bad. Anybody missing lethal would be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare when it happens, and when it does, it's it's ugly.
Oh my god, look at the timer. Look at the timer as well.
Yeah.
Down to the last rope.
Wow. I mean, I gotta feel bad for Hosty there. I think that was the risk he needed to take because he needed to sustain one more turn to effectively have another ice block
Right.
from his ice barrier, and then play the ice block behind the Archmage. I mean, that was just what he needed to do, and so it's just the 4 extra damage that he drew. Again, it was. We don't know if he has Force Nature Savage, or I don't think he does. This
Doesn't
is the
look
second
like it.
game we haven't seen it now.
Yep.
So Swipe and Drew to the Claw were his outs.
Yeah. Well, Hosty's gonna lose his freeze mage, but still, it is a tied series, and losing the freeze mage is not that bad, right? I mean, it did already take down the mirror, so it's something. Now you have the hunter to deal with the druid. Well, double hunter's mark, it seems pretty good. Or you have the special road deck that he didn't show us yet, and of course that road deck was cooed out in his previous series versus Life Coach, and yeah, maybe we'll see it in working here.
Yeah, I gotta believe he's got to go with Hunter here. I mean, he's got 2 copies of Hunter's Mark. He's got 2 copies of Cult Master. He's got Scavenging Hyenas. He's got Savannah Highmanes. He's basically got the old Hunter deck that just dismantled the popular Druid decks at the time because you did run 2 Ancient of Wars until Hunter's Mark Stone Tusk Boar became like the standard in every single Hunter deck, and it just became worthless to play that card. You just lost all of your tempo. You would effectively lose card advantage. Because your opponent's just using like excess stuff that they had in their hand anyway, and you just get run over from it. So to see him not queue up Hunter here would just be like, I would be astonished.
Yep. It's just funny staring at 2 screens.
They both rage quit.
Oh my god! All right,
they've had enough.
Yep.
And so have I. I'm out of here.
Oh god! Oh god! Uh-oh. Okay. No, Amber, you're gonna stay. I'm gonna be lonely. But yeah, they're gonna be back. Amin just told them, get ready in a minute. So they're basically just getting a drink of water or whatnot. And you guys should too. So yeah, thanks so much for watching again, all the viewers there. Make sure you do stay hydrated. We do have 3 more games to go today. Hopefully, Deathlord and Life Coach could get their accounts set up because once again, if you log in during the patch, sometimes errors happen and then bad things happen basically.
No one could have foreseen patch day on tournament day.
Patch day and tournament day? That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, that's what you try to you want to wade through those.
And for this one, Blizzard didn't really announced the patch day, which was which is a thing. So we couldn't really change the day. I'm pretty sure they couldn't really change the day. So yeah, we're doing what we can here.
Yeah, I think it's been working pretty well though.
Yeah, it's been working pretty well.
We're getting the games underway. And they've been good games too. That's the other thing too, is it's not just like one-sided, lopsided blowouts on either side. There's no Undertakers.
No Undertaker so far? I like this meta. It's some place would put it cancer free. Some place would put that. I wouldn't personally
certainly think
that.
so. Yeah. I think MD Anderson solved the problem with Hearthstone.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I seen a tweet with Strifecrow and he played a hunter and he says, I cured cancer, and there was like 5 anti-Q bots. That was pretty sick. Oh, no. 5 Illuminators, sorry. 5 Illuminators with a secret.
Oh, even better. Just gain 20 a turn.
Yeah. 20?
Why not Strifecrow?
Alright, so they're back, and Hosty seems like that's a pretty good hand. If anything.
Yeah, that's an okay one versus the old Ramp Druid deck.
That is pretty sweet. Of course, Hosty, we know that it is running 1 copy of the combo. Forsen's gonna mulligan his entire hand, and look to see with MC Tech. That's not really that useful.
Wait, hang on a second. Didn't Hosty get his Druid cooed?
Wait. 1 second here. Wait. What?
What deck did Hosty get cooed?
No. Hosty got his Wait. You're confusing me now. No! I'm officially confused. I thought it was gonna be a druid. Wait, actually no. I thought it was not gonna be a druid mirror. It was what is it has left? He has rogue and druid.
He had rogue and hunter left.
Rogue and hunter left, yeah.
Yeah, he lost to the freeze mage and he got the hunter.
Wait.
And he got the druid cooed, right?
There's a hogger. But wait, this is weird because Forsen doesn't seem to have a problem with this. Right? I mean, if Forsen cooed the druid, he would say, what's happening? What's happening, right? Wait. Let me check with the admins. Hey.
Yeah, I may be crazy.
I may be crazy too.
Yeah, maybe you're crazy. Maybe I'm crazy.
But we're all.
Maybe we're crazy. Probably.
What did
Come on.
Forsen play first again? It's the what did he queued first with the mage, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and he could Druid right away.
Yeah. So.
So this is gonna be a remake.
Yeah, this is a fail for both players.
Oh my gosh. What time is it for Forsen, by the way? Because he's on the European time. So I mean, it might be a little bit late for him.
Yeah, maybe it's drinking time.
It looks to me like he's been drinking the whole time. It's just, I mean, that wouldn't be a surprise though. It's just,
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure he has an alcohol blood level instead of a blood alcohol level.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess this is awkward. Well, as soon as they figure it out,
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is gonna be a remake of the game.
right?
Um,
I think Forza realized it too just now. I mean, it's just told them.
yeah,
He was like,
you can see like the smile on his face. He's like, oh right,
yeah,
I could that.
yeah.
And then he's smiling.
Like what happened? Guys, follow the rules. Jeez.
Yeah, just listen to Aldor Peacekeeper. Everything
Yeah.
will be fine.
You know what? Because of that game, I'm gonna go out on a limb say this is the losers bracket.
Hashtag shots fired. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, "Oh, Forsen boys!" All right.
Oh man, but no,
you
it's
think
kind
of
of
that?
both their faults here, right? So I'm just letting you guys
Neither-
know it's the losers bracket where the winner of this game will be playing one more game and to see if they're gonna advance out of this. So once again, Hosty is probably gonna play the hunter against Forsen here. So there you go.
You need like the big like Kapow sign over the losers bracket thing right now. It has a giant arrow pointing to both of them.
Oh my god, yeah. God damn it. Yeah, maybe we just maybe after that shenanigan we go like, yeah, Def Lore and Life Coach both advance. Thanks for watching, guys.
Just disqualify them.
Yeah.
Like neither of you noticed. That happens. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
I've certainly
Okay,
over-
okay. We see the matchup that we were looking for, and oh my god, looking for.
Yeah. Forsen has got a pretty strong one with double zombie chow.
Oh man. This is like
And Zombie Chow is-
insane deck.
And
I mean,
zombie
both
chow
the same
is certainly he's dressed for the occasion too. Look at those clothes.
Oh man.
He looks just like Richard Simmons.
Ever such a yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Hosty's hand, by the way, is pretty awful.
Look at that hand.
Ooh,
Is that
that's a card.
That's not bad. That's really not that bad.
That's a card.
It's a card.
Yeah.
But so now Forsen needs to decide whether he can beat a snake trap right now.
If he was paying attention, he did see Snake Trap in this build earlier today.
That's right, and he is gonna go and activate the snake trap. Not that it's too bad, to be honest. It's just gonna be pushing 2 damage. But the beast, the web spinner that dies, actually might give Hosty a play next turn.
Oh gosh.
I lied.
Oh.
I lied.
Oh, it hurts.
Uh.
Oh, geez. What if he just draws a pirate?
Are you kidding me?
You know, I will say something. I played a couple of games versus Reels, and he was playing Paladin, and I was playing Hobgoblin Druid.
Okay.
And he played a True Silver and attacked my guy.
Okay.
And then I played Hobgoblin, and I innervated, and I played Captain's Parrot, and got a Bloodsail Corsair, and Bloodsail Corsair is True Silver champion. And he just conceded. He just started laughing. He's like, "That's actually pretty funny."
That would be pretty funny. But not today. Not today. This Captain Spare is just gonna die. And now, ooh, Hyena with Unleash and double Hunter's Mark. That could do something.
Yeah. The question here is he even going to play this Hyena? He's just going to go for face. Okay, so I like going for face here.
Mm-hmm.
And the major reason behind it is because it encourages your opponent to keep their minions alive.
That's
and
right.
he's looking, at this point, he's looking for the biggest unleash he can because his game plan with this kind of hand structure is going to be all in on this scavenging Hyena and just hope that it works.
That's right. Big is always good. So Shade of Nextram is coming down here. So if the Hyena does come down, it will be a very easy clear with the Shade plus the Wrath on the Hyena. And Hosty's hand is just so gross right now. What he really wants to see in his next features are like the big bombs, right? Like maybe even the Rhino is good on 5. 6 is obviously the king of Savannah Highmane. Does this deck even play Dr. Boom?
I don't think it's going to be playing Dr. Boom simply because he's had to fit so much stuff in based on synergy. That I think he's more focusing towards that than he is on just strictly powerful minions.
Okay. Forsen's gonna use the coin here and probably play the Senjin as well. Okay.
So if Forsen reads into this really, really deep, he may see this zombie chow attack here.
All right, and wow,
Forsen what a good read!
Very nice.
Gosh, players have just been on point in this tournament so far.
Yeah, I like this. I like this.
All right, well here we go. This is basically all in on this hyena here.
And it's not gonna work.
Well, yeah, he's got Wrath in his hand, so the Wrath coupled with
the Shade, pretty awesome.
And so Hosty, you can see him thinking about whether or not he wants to suicide one of these dogs
before using Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, to that way the hyena gets bigger, but that's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to put it into big game hunter range, and then number two, it's gonna also lose his dog from it. Speaking of, oh my gosh!
And oh my god! Oh
wow,
we a bit too greedy and gets shot in the face.
I got the beast in my sights,
and that is.
Yeah, this is really bad news now.
So he's daddy.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to play this Houndmaster here and just try to get something going on the board. But Forsen's hand is so strong right now. He's got Sludge Belcher. He's got Wrath to help shore things up. He picks up a Druid of the Claw. He's got Ancient of Lore in his hand. Hosty's only got one card left, and he's got 2 copies of Cult Master in his deck. But his Unleash the Hounds has been burned at this point.
Oh, double Hunter's Mark has been burned for 2 Ancient of Wars that might be coming anytime. Oh, this is not looking good for Hosty.
And he's down the Iron Beak Owl.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh, Forsen is just sitting pretty.
This is going to be a really tough one to lose. I think he would have to almost try to lose this game.
Oh man. Timber Dogi.
Oh gosh, that's got to be one of the worst draws in his deck right now.
Oh god. It does a pig though.
Wait, he gets some value from the pig though.
There's a little bit of value, but hey, what are you going to do here?
He's going to hero power every single turn for the rest of the game and hope his opponent only draws Goldshire Footman.
Like, the thing is, like, this deck relies on Cult Master to draw, right? It's not relies on Jeeves. There's no such thing as Jeeves here. This is terrible.
If he draws Jeeves, I'm going to laugh.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just feel like a fool, I guess.
You're like, wait, how do you have Jeeves? You have 2 Cult Masters and a bunch of 5s and 6s.
Wasn't feeling so confident.
Oh gosh, and to add insult to injury, he picks up Cult Master after he's expended all of his cards.
Oh,
this just could not be a worse pan out for Hosty.
This is like one of those movies where you don't want to watch, but you kind of paid the admission ticket and you want to sit through it, but you know it's gonna be bad. You get what I mean?
So you just suffered through a terrible movie.
Yeah, it's like I paid for this. I don't want to leave. That's stupid. But then it's more stupid because you're wasting your time.
I'm just gonna waste 3 more hours of my time at a principal.
Right. Oh god.
It's like how I felt when I went to go see Hollow Man.
I'm glad I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's the worst movie ever made. Don't worry.
Unless they sponsor us. What? Here's gonna be a wrap on the
Hollow Man 2 presents Pinnacle 3.
Oh god.
Yeah, there was a second Hollow Man, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just. Oh my gosh.
Oh no! Just to apply the burn. Oh
jeez. Yeah, I mean, you got to feel bad for Hosty in that situation. But Forsen gonna take this series 3 games to 1, and I have to say, it's very minor stuff. But Forsen, we saw him with the great mind play earlier in this tournament, where he got his opponent to attack his Archmage Antonidas when he needed him to attack it, right. And also on point in this game with attacking his 2/1 Zombie Chow into a 1/1 instead of using his 2/3 to attack one of the 1/1s to help alleviate any pressure from some Unleash shenanigans that could have happened. So yeah. Definitely on point with this one, and just a matter of wait. Forsen now is up 2-1, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just looked at the overlay and glanced and saw 2-1, and then I saw this screen and I was like, wait a minute, Rogue is still here though.
Right.
He's gonna go up 2-1. Ignore everything I just said.
Right.
Hosty still has a chance.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, yeah, Forsen's Archmage bluff play was definitely one of the highlights of day 1 of the Pinnacle 2, of course. And now Hosty, well, we're gonna see some Rogue in action, and this is gonna be interesting because this is gonna be the first Rogue game ever in this tournament. Still waiting for the priest game, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna see it, but hey, one can hope, right?
Yeah, you definitely can. I mean,
Thanks. Oh my god. Ah,
yeah, I mean, Rogue's it's certainly got its work cut out for him here. Because
well,
I
I
feel
mean, Blade Flurry is one of the most busted cards in my opinion. So like, if we
a
get
lot,
super big Blade Flurry, then I think that's one way to win.
there's another thing that can happen too, is because again, we don't know what Rogue version this is, and something I ran into when I was playing Ramp Druid was, gosh, I wish I could remember his name for the life of me. But someone was playing a Rogue list that was like really heavily dedicated to offsetting the Druid mid game,
Okay.
and he would just keep me tempoed the entire game and just beat me up. And there was really nothing I could do about it. And I tried my hardest to not queue into him when I was playing, and I just couldn't avoid it. Just would play 19 hours a day.
All right.
And so if Hosty's deck is sort of built in that same vein, something like Ramp Druid may not be a problem with him. But if he's more oriented on getting just more mana for damage efficiency, that's where he might end up falling a little bit behind, is just when he runs into so many taunts that he just runs out of damage.
That's true. So yeah, drawing the saps mid game is very important. Killing your opponent before they just overrun you is super important. I don't know, even like if it's a tempo mage, tempo mages. If it's a tempo rogue, we might even see stuff like Black Knight or like Ragnaros, for example, and just seal the game that way.
Right. That's exactly kind of the version I ran into too. He had Black Knight, he had Saps,
Oh,
and he had Violet Teachers just to keep pressure on. So it was forcing me to use swipes in these awkward positions where I couldn't develop the board, and then he would get another minion down and then continue to tempo me.
right.
That was a big problem.
Well, for Forsen here, Shade is pretty damn sweet. And for Hosty, well, double deadly poison seems to be one of the plays here. But
He's also got Blood Mage coin into Eviscerate too, but that's going to offset his own curve at that point. He's going to be underdropping.
Yeah,
a few
I
things
don't
to
think you
make
want to
sure-
do that. I mean, Farseer is okay here. I'm pretty sure it's fine.
Yeah, I think Farseer's fine. This is going to get run into a lot by the Senjin, and then he can just deadly poison afterwards and attack the Senjin and then use the second Earth Ring Farseer.
Right. Oh, what happens if Hosty draws a Flurry now? You see, the power of Flurry is just insane. But no Flurry. Forsen dodged the bullet. Another Farseer is probably going to come down here, which is, fine.
It seems like the most reasonable play. I mean, he could dagger up and deadly poison again, but that would just be terrible. So
Yeah.
I don't think he should do that.
All right. So there you go. Forsen on the. Oh my God! It's just all these cards are really really good. So now, I really think Hosty needs to draw to Blade Flare ASAP. Otherwise, this is just gonna be really really bad. Shade gonna come down and actually kill a 3/3 here.
Yeah, I actually like this. I mean, you know that Blade Flurry is not really there. Your opponent very clearly would have used Blade Flurry last turn. So if he uses this Shade, it's you can't backstab it. I think it's pretty unlikely to see Shiv at this point. And then a burning and eviscerate is just going to be a 1-for-1 anyway. But the Shade has already picked up a card from there, so you're getting extra value out of your Shade at this point. And what it looks like to me is that it's turning into a grind, where Forsen is just going to rely on his draw density to really get him out of this. Span of Knives gets picked up.
Oh, that is the card you want to see right now. Fan of Knives. Well, do you want to those Fan of Knives, for example?
It's tough to say.
I mean, do you really want to push one more damage on both the 3/3 and the 4/6? Does it really help? I mean, it sets up for a good eviscerate, for example.
I don't think there's a problem with playing something like Slug Belcher either, or Lotheb or whatever.
Oh, really?
But I think it's just at this point he's falling pretty far behind, so he has to look at how he actually wins this game.
Right.
And one of the ways he's going to win it is either continue to answer everything Forsen has and just and be able to outscale him, or number two, hope that Forsen makes some sort of mistake and that he's able to recover it because his opponent made a mistake.
And I do not like relying on my opponents making mistakes.
I don't really like relying on it either, especially against a formidable opponent.
Yeah.
If I'm ranked 19, maybe I take some risks there, but
Wow. Okay. Well, Hosty's gonna rope here.
I think he's really debating using a second poison there.
Nothing. Adric and Coin Eviscerate should come down next turn then. Oh my God.
Yeah,
so
that
hard.
is certainly a little bit of a problem.
So what do we need again, Admirable? What card?
Well, you need a Blade Flurry, but he's not going to get it this time. So
All right. Well,
we'll see how this pans out.
oh, taking so much damage from a ramp druid, if anything, you know?
Yep.
I'm a ramp druid.
And this is actually sort of a weird spot for Forsen too, because he wants to kill this Blood Mage, but I imagine he really wants to play this Ancient of lore also.
He wants to play the Shade as well, I guess, if he wants to play the Ascension Shade, right?
No, I think if he plays Ascension, he's going to Hero Power.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to play the Zombie Chow?
I don't know. I feel like when your opponent's at this kind of life total, you may just be able to out pressure them at this point, so you're not nearly as worried about the the potential value that you are getting from Zombie Chow at this point. It's just kind of a dead card. And he's gotten so much value. I think he's just okay with that.
Yeah, 5 damage to the face. It's pretty sweet. You don't want to outdo it again.
Oh gosh, that's
not really the one you want to see right now.
That's one of the ugliest draws in his deck right now. Sap, on the other hand, is a really good one.
Sap is one of the cards that could bring Hosty back in the game. Actually, it's really clutch. It's definitely one of the 5 draws plus the Sap here.
Yep.
And because the Lothep does challenge this engine, I think the Lothep is a good choice. Ooh, another Zombie Chow. That's kind of sad. All right.
You know, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't choose to go with the Sylvanas here again.
Oh.
Ooh,
Well, I guess you kind of want to draw some more drops. Ooh. Well, here, this is interesting because you don't want to take any more face damage. You die to a swipe or you die to a Druid of the Claw. You don't want that to happen. But then how do you clear this board? Do you really want to draw Flurry? Like, I mean, if you draw Flurry, I think the whole thing is kind of solved. Does indeed go with the Azure and try and draw us a card. Preparation. Is that going to be useful?
I think he's I think you're right. I think he's gonna have to trade away his Lothep here.
Yeah. 4 damage. So easy for a Druid to do. Like, you know, just a random card does it.
Yeah, gosh, he's got to trade away the Lothep here, which is just so unfortunate. Like he just needs that extra board pressure so badly right now.
Oh man. He could YOLO. It is a ramp druid after all. He should know that it is a ramp druid. But no.
Yeah, I don't think yellowing is I don't think yellowing is the right range at the moment.
Right. Oh man. This definitely looks really, really bad for Hosty. Maybe he plays anti-cube on this deck, who knows? But hey, a deck card for a Forsen to give Hosty a little bit of hope. But man, Sylvanas or even Ancient of War is gonna come down here, and that's just brutal.
God, the Sylvanas is unchecked too. Hosty needs to draw like a sap or something.
What do we need again? Oh man. Oh, that's that would be interesting.
Well, he can't double prep sprint. That would have been a good one. But
that would be pretty awkward.
Oh, Backstab's not a bad draw right now.
Oh, Fan of Knives as well.
There's Fan of Knives.
That is actually the best card right now.
Do you prep this Fan of Knives?
I think you do.
Yeah, you just got to get something else out.
Yeah, prep the Fan of Knives.
Wow, that's a really big draw from Hosty right now.
God.
Granted, he did just draw 4 cards, but...
Right. Still pretty big. It was the last card, too. It was just right at the tip. Oh, that's the magic one. You want to see that card.
Wow, and that's actually going to give him potential for a massive Blade Flurry next turn.
Whoa.
If Forsen has to extend the board. And Forsen's like, he's running out of gas at this point. He's got Ancient of War. He's going to be able to draw some cards next turn between Wrath and Wild Growth. But his other 2 cards are Zombie Chow. And Zombie Chows are cards that he doesn't want to play right now.
Oh, man, he would have lost. Oh, actually, if Forsen top decks another swipe, it would be GG.
Yep. Forsen does have a direct out to win this game right now.
And the out is...
Nope. It's not Cenarius. Yeah, so Ancient of War is going to come down for sure.
Of course.
And Hosty's going to have to continue to fight through this board position. It looks to me like Tinker Oil, Backstab, that's only 7 points of damage. Okay, so...
So you still have Adric, I guess, because the Backstab does improve it by 1 damage.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna have to use his Blade Flurry.
With the oil?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, that's not that bad, right? Because
so if he backstabs the Ancient of War, and then he plays Azure Drake, Tinker Oil.
That's
I'm sorry, he
actually good
backsteps. He
damage.
plays Tinker Oil first because he wants the damage to be on the Sludge Belcher.
No, you can't because you need to combo it.
Yeah, you can backstep first.
Wait, why are you
just
quitting? Well, you can't quit in turn 10. No. You have to Azure Drake and backstab, right? To do the 3 damage. Then you have to oil to do the 6 damage plus the spell bar is 7.
Right.
Because you can't just throw in an oil like that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so you have to start off Azure Drake, unfortunately. And then you coin out the Blade Flurry. This is very specific. And just wish and pray that the oil bounces to the Belcher, right? Oh.
Wow, there's 2 copies of oil in here. It gets on the Belcher.
Jin.
Wow, and now suddenly Hosty is looking like he's in a great position.
6 attack Belcher. Oh my god, that is insane. Oh wow.
Wow.
What a turnaround.
He's got the second Sharp Sword oil too.
Oh.
But he needs to find a way to combo that as well.
That's right.
Second snipe is picked up for Forsen, and that's gonna end the game. Wow.
We knew that was gonna happen, right? That was one of the outs, and
a top deck for Forsen, and now he's gonna take this series 3 games to 1. And Hosty can't help but smile. What a tough game that one was. My goodness.
Double swipe to the face.